And I got up and I turned around and I looked.
You're in luck. The guys are having a stand-up meeting. This is how you keep a meeting short.
What?
Everybody stands around. Come on.
Except we're telling those war stories.
No, war stories. Get to work. Get to work. Anyway, I need the Dilbert hair. Talk Now is, we hope, becomes the mobile presence application for the marketplace. We don't think that there's anything out there like it today. There's nothing that provides the capability to reflect back personalized presence. There's nothing that provides the capability to give you the same kind of control, especially in an ambient setting. It uses context to be able to drive this stuff. So we think that those are very powerful and very user-friendly features. The next iterations of Talk Now are going to focus on expanding that feature set. There's some things that we want to do around informing people that you're busy, but not so busy that you can't take an important call. We want to be able to meld that back with our call control applications so that Talk Now will actually be able to provide a little bit more control over the phone call than it currently does, because right now it reflects your availability, but it doesn't stop anybody from picking up the phone and just barging right in. Right.
And the other thing that we want to do with it is expand on the portal capabilities. Now, we didn't show you any of the web configuration stuff today, but there's a web application on the back end that can be used to give you quite a bit of control over how it is that Talk Now behaves. We want to actually turn that into a system that allows you to keep a personal address book and a bit of a business-oriented social network as well.
So this is iotum Talk Now. It's a new presence application for BlackBerry. It runs on BlackBerry 8700 or on Pearl or any BlackBerry that runs OS 4.1. And the concept behind the application is pretty simple. It's something that helps you see who's available for you to talk with at any particular point in time. It lets you be notified when the people that you want to reach are available to have a conversation with you, and it lets you share your availability with other people who might want to have a conversation with you. So the application itself is pretty simple. It's a list of the people that you need to be able to reach at any given time, and topics that you want to talk to them about. So it's kind of like a buddy list, and it's kind of like a to-do list combined. And adding somebody to the Talk Now list is pretty simple as well. You simply go over to your address book, select them, and then go ahead and click Add to Talk Now and give that entry a subject. And then, of course, it goes ahead and it fetches the presence information for that particular person. So anybody who's marked in red is somebody that isn't available to have a call from you right now, and anybody that's marked in green is somebody that you can call immediately just by pressing the call button on the BlackBerry. Now, one of the big ideas here is that not only can you see who it is that's available to have a conversation with you, but of course you can go through your day with the list of people that you need to speak with on your BlackBerry, and at various times as they become available during the day, the BlackBerry will then go ahead and notify you, as it's doing here. So Jill has now become available, and if I press yes to say that I want to be able to talk now, what will end up happening is that it will make the phone call for me. I'm going to go ahead and press no though. So what about people that aren't part of the Talk Now system? Like this person here, Sod, who's indicated in white. We have no status for him whatsoever. I can go ahead and make a phone call to him, and if I make a phone call to him and I reach his voicemail, which I'm just going to hang up right now, and you'll see what happens. Talk Now will recognize that I reached his voicemail, and it'll ask me if I want to invite him to join the system or invite him to talk. And so if I say yes, then the next thing that happens is Talk Now goes ahead and it actually sends a short email message to him, which I will show you right here. So we scroll back, and we'll go into the email system, and you can see there's an email that I've sent to him right there. And if we open it up, you can see what it says. It says, "Hi, I'm trying to reach you regarding the schedule," which was the topic of the conversation that we wanted to talk about. And it says, "You can see my availability to take a call from you, as well as check later openings in my calendar." Now this here is a small secure web page that Talk Now has generated. And it contains my availability to talk with Sod right now. And it'll show up in a second here, and you can see that. It says that I'm available. And this changes every time the page is loaded. So this is a way for somebody who's not a member of the Talk Now system to be able to participate in the system. And then below that, it shows other openings in my calendar where I might be able to have a conversation with him for the next 24 hours. And within 24 hours' time, this page actually disappears. The page is secure and it's private. It's only for SOD, so you don't have to worry about going and sharing your calendar with everybody under the sun. So that in a nutshell is how the system works. Now, I want to show you some of the more advanced things about it. One of the things that's really a big characteristic of how it is that we answer calls on a day-to-day basis is that we do it on the basis of context. We think about who it is that's calling and what it is that we're currently doing as we make decisions about whether or not we're going to take calls from specific people. So iotum does a lot of the same kinds of things, and the Talk Now application reflects that. We can go into the Talk Now application, for instance, and see right here that this person sees that Alec is available to have dinner and have a call about dinner right now, whereas I've got another BlackBerry here, which I'm just going to slide in, and you can see it side by side. And what it shows is that for this person, I'm actually not available to have a call. And that's reflective of the same kinds of things that we ordinarily do from day to day. We look at who the person is that's calling and make a decision about whether or not we want to have a call from that person right now. It draws from a whole bunch of different sources of information to make its decisions. So for instance, if you go into the calendar, you'll see that there are a number of calendar entries here. And when I'm in one of these meetings, ordinarily I'll be busy, unless of course somebody has a special kind of relationship with me, in which case I might be available for that person. Talk Now is also capable of noticing when you have meetings with somebody later on during the day. So for instance, if someone was to try to reach me and I had a meeting booked later in the day, I'd be probably inclined to take that. And the reason for that is because ordinarily you would do that, because that might be something to do with that meeting that's happening later in the day. So there's a number of human behaviors that it mimics like that. Now the other thing that it does is it goes and it uses the categories feature in your address book. So you can go ahead and you can categorize different people in different ways. So for instance, if I wanted to be able to have Alec always able to reach Frank, I could go in and edit the entry here and create a category for Frank. I'm just going to go ahead and create a new category called VIP, and anybody who's in that category will now have an override. They'll have a barge-in privilege that they didn't have before. So there's all kinds of powerful things that you can do with Talk Now that mimic the way that you ordinarily would handle your phone calls. And like a human being, it understands the context of the situation, the relationship you have with the person, and what it is that you're currently doing, when it helps to reflect your availability to others in order to be able to take calls. And so that's basically it.
A film studio that is using Talk Now experimentally right now as a means to be able to locate extras and locate people that can stand in for people who either aren't on the set or are sick or whatever else, and they're using it in a very quick way.
That's great.
And I had a coffee the other day with a gentleman who has a first responder application. He's got a list of all the emergency people that you need to be able to meet with for things like hazmat and stuff like that loaded onto the BlackBerry. And he looked at what we were doing and he said, this would rock if you could integrate Talk Now with this, because then I'd be able to find immediately who's actually available to be part of this first response. So there's lots of opportunities.
Awesome. That's great.